All right, we're out in the shop. We're looking at the Kreaney Trecker mill. Their serial number. I've not really looked it up, though. A lot of people are into these things. I think it's a great machine. Love the styling of it. You know, look at that, the rounded back. I'm gonna step back from it a minute here, and it's a mess. I know. I had it all redone at one point. Of course, that's been, geez, I don't know, almost 18 years ago, I think. I brought it in here, stripped it, painted it. But yeah, well, it's got some use. But it still works. There's my three-phase indicator up there on the back. I have it off right now. There's a windstorm outside, so it's already been knocked off once. You know, when there's a relay inside the three-phase in the starter. It's a homemade starter. There's a relay in there, and when you get a power blank, the relay drops out, which makes sense, and stops it. So it's a good thing, I guess, a safety thing too. But it didn't throw the breaker. But yeah, getting back to this. So what we're looking at doing is adding a DRO. I never had one. I just kind of lost track of it. I thought about doing one a number of years ago, and you know, they were expensive. And then I don't know, someone bought one. I can't remember if it was online I saw it, or a friend or whatever. But needless to say, looked at it again, went on Amazon. The DRO, I think it's called. It was a deal. I mean, it was $237 with the scales I needed. You know, because I've got a bigger table, as you can see. This table, I have it moved over right now because I'm looking into using this side here to mount the scales for the Z and the Y. Of course, the X is going to be a non-issue mounted back there. Looks pretty straightforward. We've got casting from the saddle there, and flat back, machined back. Actually, it's a Kreaney Trecker. It's a Kreaney Trecker thing with air quotes around it. That their tables were fully machined on every surface. So it's an accurate surface all the way around, front and back. Got a lot of overhang here, but yeah, this side here. At first, I was going to do this side. As you can see, I thought about it, but then there's this area to raise and lower, and I think someone has done it. They tie into here because that moves with the saddle. But here again, with the Kreaney Trecker, this vintage, and they were into the styling. This is it says right there, what is it? A three horsepower. 2CH. I always thought it meant channel, but it doesn't. The CHL is a designation of something with, you know, their machines. I think honestly, I think this was very small for a typical Kreaney Trecker. This was almost like I'm not going to say value line, but it has all the bells and whistles that they all had, but it was made in a smaller size, I think, is all I can gather. But needless to say, back at it here. Got a piece of aluminum here. I think that's 8, maybe a little bit heavier. There it is. And so basically plan on doing that. But I'm thinking about mounting it here. And I watched a video. I give credit to the person. I will do that when I go back on and finding it. I watched so many videos. Basically, he mounted a plate here. Okay, visualize it going across here. And think of it, okay, this is a stop, part of an automatic stop. So there's a pin and there's the pin. So there's your travel. So he basically laid over this with this sheet of, aluminum. Basically covered this area here and then come down here to grab into the casting with two standoffs here. Use this point here as a standoff, and so from there come out just in front of this, so that distance out, and then it reached into here. So picture my hand as being the end of the aluminum, and then on using the machine surfaces here was able to put standoffs there, and then put the scale out here. So then this reaches behind it. And the reason I think that was a good idea, because at first you would have a tendency to want, hey, why reach behind the scale? But then there's a chance the chips and things could go in the front of it. This way the scale, the opening is to the back. I think you're less likely to get the chips. So I think that's a good design. Of course, we have to watch out. I think we'll clear this here because we're going to have to be out here. So we're looking at standoffs of probably every bit of 3 inches, maybe a little bit more to come out. I don't like that. I think as you lose track on a mill, as you lose track of center, I think you have a little bit of air induced. This saddle doesn't fit well. The waves on this machine are worn. I mean, it's a rough machine. It had a tough life, I think, and it's real worn in the middle. So the gib on the saddle's taken up a good bit. As you can see right there, where it comes out here. They've taken that up. I've played on and off over the years. I've tried to mess with that, to tighten it. I read the book. Supposedly there's a nut on this end. Well, obviously there's a adjustment there. But what I didn't know is there's another one back here. It's in that hole. Let's see if I can get it right here. Right in there, there's another adjuster. So basically you would loosen those, take up the taper on the front, and then tighten that down. Makes sense. But they're a bugger to turn. I just don't know what's going on. So, but that's where we're at. So it's a little bit of a long video, just as an introduction to how we're doing. But I'm hoping to knock this out this weekend. That was the plan. I think I have everything. Scales, I'll introduce that stuff as I get closer. Gonna have to cut them to length because here again I got busted by what everybody calls the Phantom 5 inches, I think, where you say you need a certain length and they actually take that length and then they add on. So what they really wanted was the working length that you needed, and then they add on the length that is to get to where you want to mount it. I think what happened is people read too much, they've looked into it too much, and they know that the scale needs to be longer because it can't travel to the end. So then they're going ahead and adding on the extra themselves, giving that number to the manufacturer, and then they add their Phantom 5 inches on, and now you're too long. So I think that's what I'm up against. So I'm hoping to use the one that was going to use for the Y. I think it might be just perfect for the Z, and then I'll have the extra long one for the Z. I'll just cut that one to do the Y whenever I get that mounted and see how it's going to fit on there. And of course the one for the table, even though I'm longer than I need to be, I got plenty of, the length will be perfect for it. It's going to work. I'm not going to have to cut it. It just won't all be used. It's almost going to come right here to the end. Let me see if I can see that in the camera. Right here to the end. And the reader's going to be way over here. But you know what? It's not going to matter. The extra length doesn't hurt anything. Okay, so there it is. I'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching.